What if a Wells Fargo Treasury expert predicted XRP could reach $100 to $500 in months? And now, on November 27, 2025, with XRP at $2.21 and ETF inflows accelerating, that forecast is resurfacing in real-time discussions? This could signal a major shift. Stay with me to examine the data. Hello, I'm Jeff. Welcome to this analysis of XRP's current momentum and the Wells Fargo prediction. This is not financial advice. Conduct your own research and consult professionals before any decisions. In 2023, Shannon Thorpe, a Wells Fargo Treasury Management Officer, analyzed XRP's potential for cross-border payments. She projected a price range of $100 to $500 within 4 to 7 months, based on XRP capturing 30% of SWIFT's $7 trillion daily volume, equating to $2.1 trillion in throughput. At the time, XRP traded below $1. Today, XRP stands at $2.21, up 7% in 24 hours amid ETF developments. Recent X posts highlight this revival. At Chad Steingraber noted ETF funds must source XRP within 1 to 2 days, pressuring prices upward due to timed escrow releases. To assess, consider XRP's fundamentals. The XRP ledger processes transactions in 3 seconds at under a penny, connecting over 300 institutions via RippleNet. Recent on-chain data shows 1.48 billion XRP moved, per at XRP Arthur, indicating strong rebound from channel lows. Technicals support this. XRP holds an ascending broadening wedge, with support at $1.85 and resistance at $2.35, near the 50-day EMA of $2.37. RSI at 58 on the 4-hour chart signals bullish momentum, MACD turning positive. But what drives the surge now? ETF inflows total $587 million since launch, custodying 260 million tokens and reducing available float to 2 to 4%. Adonis Coxey observed, smart money has stacked $587 million of XRP, while retail argues about $2. This mirrors Bitcoin's 2024 ETF-driven 80% rise. Open interest at yearly lows washes out shorts, per at CoinEdition. XRP holds $2.22 base as ETF inflows return and open interest jumps. Chad Steingraber added that ETFs provide the fastest road to higher XRP price, outpacing Basel rules or utility burns. Rhetorical question. If adoption is real, why the hesitation? Recent approvals for Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin in the UAE and Dubai's DFSA enable compliant use in Middle Eastern centers, tapping 55% year-over-year stablecoin growth. At XRP, iIntelWire reported Ripple's RLUSD secures approvals, enabling use across premier financial centers. Philippines' $60 billion tokenization potential could flow through XRPL. Enel Pequira noted a 7 to 10% surge amid ETF launches, calling Ripple's ecosystem infrastructure banks bet on. Teaser, yet doubts persist. ETFs as hype? Next, we address key myths with evidence. Myth 1. No real adoption. Counter. SBI Group holds XRP in treasury. Grayscale labels it a battle-tested blockchain. At the Crypto Basics cited Steingraber, ETF-driven demand is the primary force for major breakout, with 628 million AUM absorbing 80 million tokens in 24 hours. Myth 2. Regulatory overhang. The Torres ruling clarified secondary sales as non-securities. At Denarian 888 estimated a 35% chance the SEC drops its appeal by mid-January, targeting $4.20 within 60 days. Basel's bank crypto easing adds tailwinds over 18 months. Myth 3. Whale manipulation caps upside. Data shows accumulation. OTC desks bid $3.50 with no fills under $4. At Don Khan highlighted, Grayscale plus Franklin ETFs pulled $130 million day one. 21 shares Toxar hits tomorrow with $500 million seed. At Jeremy V's Jeremy warned of a supply shock and liquidity vacuum post-absorption. Climactic projection, integrating Wells Fargo's model with 2025 data. Short term, $2.60 to $2.75 on ETF momentum, 20% gain by December. Mid-term, $5 to $10 if SEC clarity unlocks $18 billion Q1 flows and CME futures. Long-term, $24 to $100 as ISO 2022 scales to 2.1 trillion tests, aligning with Thorpe's ceiling at adoption velocity. Supply math: 587 million inflows remove 260 million XRP. Daily burns rise 10 times on volume. Float thins to critical levels. At Mimi_Tai_CoVN_ described it as a 3,500% blast when volume awakens. Analogy: XRP resembles a pressure vessel. ETFs widen cracks. Regulations release steam. Adoption ignites expansion. Fractals from @EGRAGCRYPTO target $3.30 short-term, scaling to $11.70. At Investory's 55% breakout projects 3.3, 5, 7.5, up to 9.6 to 11.7. Even conservative views like at Fenora_EN see $2.58 above $2.28. At BitBlitz, network activity surged with token burns at multi-month highs, underscoring utility. While at TechBarrow0 cautioned that $100 by year-end lacks basis, requiring $6 trillion cap, 43 times current. Long-term utility supports growth. This positions XRP as payment infrastructure, validated by bank integrations. Wells Fargo's insight, echoed in today's X discourse, underscores potential amid ETF and regulatory catalysts. Recap: XRP at $2.21 defies dips with 7% gains. $587 million ETFs create scarcity. Technicals target $2.60 plus. RLUSD. Approvals fuel global flows. On-chain moves signal absorption. XRP community. Data points to momentum. Engage below. If this analysis provides value, like for visibility. Comment your 2026 XRP target: $5, $10, $24. Subscribe for ongoing updates. Share with peers. Research thoroughly. See you next time.